A black swan event is something that comes out of nowhere and has dire consequences. Now, in the very shaky Chinese real estate market, another developer is on the brink. Conflicting reports about whether the government will do a bailout or not. A black swan event would be cascading bankruptcies in that market. Charles, it's not just about China. There's this black swan event possibility from the $100 trillion of government debt around the world.
Yeah.
What do you make of black swan?
Here's the funny thing. The definition of a black swan says that they're extremely difficult to predict, and for the last 3 years, I've seen a million predictions of the black swan.
Yeah, yeah, they're all over the place.
It's a thing that completely whacks you out of left field. Yeah. You don't get to see it bubbling up, and it crushes you overnight.
So do you think that the China thing, maybe there's a wave of bankruptcies in the real estate market, several in fact, do you think that's a black swan?
Actually, I think it's a fantastic thing for China.
A good thing?
A great thing for China.
Oh, explain yourself.
The government should not get into the business of propping up failed businesses. Japan did that. Remember they had the big property boom?
Yep.
They were going to take over the world, Pebble Beach, Rockefeller Center, a small piece of Japanese real estate worth $1 trillion.
Remember, yeah.
They had the implosion, and what did Japan do? They printed a lot of money and they held up failed businesses. They have 20 years of going nowhere. China's had the benefit of watching that, watching us. They're probably smart. It doesn't mean they won't take pain, but this is what you do. If businesses fail, let them fail.
All right, I've got your favorite subject. You know what it is.
Drum roll.
We need one. Hours from now, Janet Yellen gives her first news conference as Fed chair. Now, the tea leaf readers say she will stick to the plan. That is, print $10 billion fewer dollars each month. You've said this yesterday. If she prints less, you think the market goes up. You're holding with that?
Of course. Listen, they already printed less twice, right? They've already reduced tapering 2 times, 85 billion and 65 billion. Now, we were supposed to crash the day they announced tapering and said the Dow went up 300 points that day and then 500 that week. Here's what I think people conflict, at least, and there's a legitimate debate here, Stuart. Is quantitative easing the same as other things they've done in the past, like low interest rates? I don't think it is, personally. I think all this money has gone straight to the federal government. Listen, the biggest story, and to be honest with you, we really kind of missed it, but we still jump on this thing, was Fannie Mae. Well, the Federal Reserve, how did Fannie Mae pay back $121 billion like that? Overnight, they were bankrupt. They were broke.
But your point has always been, Charles, that people are not going to go out today and buy a stock because of what Janet Yellen says. They're going to go out and buy a stock because they think the thing's going to go up.
Well, not the stock per se, but the company. In other words, I'm not going to go, if we went to the Garden State Mall tomorrow, you and I on a field trip, I don't think we find anyone there. I think 97% of people wouldn't know who Janet Yellen was. Right. And no one there would say they went to the mall that particular day. But the Fed does try to manipulate us. How? Low rates means keeping money in the bank is worthless. Why? We don't get anything back. So we spend it or we invest it.
Okay.
So I think there's a distinct difference between raising rates, and that's going to be Janet Yellen's point today. She's going to try to let Wall Street know, I'm not going to raise rates for a long time. That's the juice Wall Street wants to hear. I don't think it's a QE.
All right. I hear you. I'm going to move on to 2 big names. You know them. Both of them facing headaches. I'll start with Toyota.